watershed days in financial markets history.
Another 7,000 jobs will be slashed for a total of 21,000.
There's a lot of anxious people out there right now.
Our entire economy is in danger.
I remember a breakfast that I had in early 2010. It was at the height of the Great Recession, and we had made a commitment to our employees that only as our very last resort would we conduct layoffs to preserve the health of the company. But to make good on that commitment, we needed all 10,000 of our employees to bring their energy and their focus and their creativity to our work as they never had before. DTE employees did that and more, and in the process kept our company very strong. And afterwards, they began to ask me how we could help their neighbors and their families, many of whom were still in crisis and who had not been fortunate enough to keep their jobs. And from these conversations, our aspiration to be the best operated energy company in North America and a force for growth and prosperity in the communities where we live and serve was born. Once we defined this aspiration, though, it took us a while to get our wheels. We were challenged as a team to make this focus on community just as important and just as strategic as our financial and operational planning. We didn't immediately know how to scale this and make good on our vision. Now, as our team worked through these challenges, we decided to start where we felt we could do the most good in the least amount of time, which was right at the heart of our operations. And in 2011, we began to focus on supporting Michigan businesses by recruiting more of them into our supplier base. In 2011, we spent $475 million a year with Michigan-based suppliers. And today, we spend nearly $1.8 billion, which is a fourfold increase. And since making this commitment, economists estimate that we've created and sustained more than 24,000 local jobs. And since 2013, we've spent $2.4 billion with women and minority-owned businesses, including $1.8 billion with Detroit suppliers, which earned our Chief Procurement Officer, Tony Tomzak, the National Minority Supplier and Development Council's top honor this year. And now we're building on this effort by working with other chief procurement officers at large companies to drive 2,000 entry-level jobs for Detroiters.
Without our relationship with DTE, we would not be the company that we are today. Our company has grown from when we started in 2007 with 8 people to this year approaching over 700 employees. DTE has been just a huge supporter of us by helping MBEs and Michigan-based companies. They need good companies in order to continue to provide service. So it's really a win-win when they make that type of commitment to help Michigan-based businesses.
As time passed, we began to focus on other areas where we believed we had the responsibility to lead. So we believe climate change is one of the defining public policy issues of our era. And so, after the federal government set aside the Clean Power Plan, we decided to take matters into our own hands. And in early 2017, we're one of the very first in our industry to announce plans to voluntarily reduce carbon emissions by more than 80%. We're also promoting voluntary programs with our customers to build even more renewables. And already Ford and GM and the University of Michigan have signed up. So we're constructing renewable resources specifically to serve those customers, and their combined commitment is big. It represents enough clean energy to power 141,000 homes annually. And to ensure the affordability and reliability of electricity far into the future, we're diversifying our energy sources by building one of the nation's most efficient natural gas plants and, in tandem, retiring 3 large coal plants by 2022. And that gas plant achieves huge reductions in carbon emissions. But our commitment to protect the environment extends beyond power generation. So for example, our foundation awarded a significant grant, $1 million, to the Nature Conservancy for their work to protect the health of the Great Lakes and to use natural systems to reduce stormwater runoff into the Detroit River. And in partnership with the state of Michigan, we've planted 23 million trees across our state and have turned every one of our field offices and power plant properties into a national wildlife habitat site.
One real important site here in Ann Arbor is the Broadway site, right next to the Huron River, that they're taking a very highly contaminated site, bringing it back into the use by the community as a park and a gathering space. And keeping 80% of that space will be open space for the public to enjoy. So it will bring economic, environmental, and social benefits to the community. That's so important to have partners like DTE if Ann Arbor and Southeast Michigan is going to be a really sustainable hub to bring people in, keep them here, and really drive the future of the state.
We're also working to change the lives of students and others who have barriers to entering the workforce. So preparing the state's children for 21st century jobs is a place where DTE can make a big contribution. Each year we support jobs for 1,500 youths from Muskegon to Detroit. More than half of these students work at DTE, where the students learn directly from us. The balance are supported by our foundation and are placed through Grow Detroit's Young Talent and United Way Lakeshore in Muskegon. But regardless of where they're placed, these students are learning skills that are really important in the workplace.
DTE came to us and said, we have a bow wave about to hit us in the skilled trades, and we're going to have a huge amount of retirees. We need to create a pipeline of individuals ready to go into that industry. And we found the Randolph Career Technical Education Center, run by Detroit Public Schools, as really a huge opportunity. DTE really led the way with its $1 million investment in Randolph that helped us raise another $9 million for that school. And it led to another $10 million investment at Breithoff in career technical education that was more focused on the service industry, on automotive repair, on mechatronics. This really started with DTE's investment and their leap of faith with the community to say, we're going to be the good partners you need.
If I did an intern at DTE, I believe I would find myself struggling, trying to find work. The hands-on experience that we had at Henry Ford College, it was based on all the jobs on the gas side of the company, which was gas distribution, gas staking, so it helped me get qualified. I really appreciate all the people that have been encouraging me to stick through the DTE program at Henry Ford. The meaning of success to me is being able to provide for myself, my family, knowing that they need that help.
We're also helping returning citizens find employment, enabling them to begin rebuilding their lives. So last year, we moved the box on our applications that asks if a job seeker has been convicted of a crime. A felony conviction shouldn't bring with it a life sentence of unemployment. Now, we still perform due diligence on everyone we offer a job to ensure that that person is a good fit for the position. But we don't want to deter those who are fighting to put their lives back together from applying at DTE and ultimately joining our workforce.
It is vitally important for returning citizens to be able to find employment upon their release from incarceration. And we all want our communities to be successful. We want them to be thriving places. And so DTE has been a great partner with us in recognizing the value that returning citizens bring to the community and the critical role that they play in helping fill jobs that are going unfilled. The opportunity to partner with companies, again, like DTE, has helped us help people be successful.
First got into the legal system when I was 18 years old. I was locked up on a couple of occasions. Got out, tried to fly straight, kind of had trouble finding work. I was introduced to line clearance tree trimming, so I was working with contractors for DTE. That's when I found out about DTE being such a great company. I heard about an opening for the cable splicer apprentice job here at DTE, and I applied for it. I thought, what the heck? And the company took a shot on me. DTE taking a chance on me, it boosts my morale 100%. As a person, as a worker, everybody treats you with respect, and that goes a long way, especially coming from where I come from, where maybe you don't get treated with a whole lot of respect. You get into a career with a company like DTE, there's plenty of opportunities, and that's going to affect every facet of your life. Whatever you were doing in the past that got you in the penal system, you're not worried about that anymore. There's no need to be. It's just a great place to work, and for my children to be able to see that is just wonderful. It really is. My son all the time is saying, wow, your work does this, wow, your work does that. Oh, they have a Beacon Park, and it's inspirational for the kids. It's changed my life, and I love it.
Our work in neighborhoods and in the area around DTE facilities is making a real impact. So we opened DTE's Beacon Park in the summer of 2017 on a parcel of land that was formerly an industrial site surrounded by barbed wire. Amazingly, the park has already attracted more than 1 million visitors with its family-friendly events and concerts. And Lumen Detroit, our park's restaurant, has won a number of awards for both its striking architecture and for the great food and drink that it offers. But most importantly, the development of Beacon Park has lived up to its name. It is acting as a beacon to others to invest in the area to the tune of more than $140 million to date. But we're working in neighborhoods beyond downtown Detroit. So we're working in partnership with the citizens in the historic North End neighborhood of Detroit to help make the vision that they have for their neighborhood a reality. We're working hand in hand with that community to beautify it, make it safer, and tie it to workforce development efforts. And we look forward soon to working with neighbors surrounding our Connors Creek Power Plant site, where Fiat Chrysler will soon invest to bring thousands of jobs to the community. One of the things I'm proudest of is our employees who serve with their energy in our communities by volunteering thousands of hours at nonprofit organizations across the state. More than 50% of our employees are now engaged in volunteerism, and I've learned that 50% participation is world class. But more importantly, we've learned that our employees love the opportunity to contribute. And now that our participation rate is high, we're turning our attention to increasing the quality and the impact of our work through skills-based volunteerism, using our experience and our expertise to help our nonprofit partners grow their capacity to transform our communities. You know, the effect that we have with work of this nature can have impacts that are broader than we might initially anticipate. So in his book, Firms of Endearment, Raj Sisodia explores how corporate citizenship can positively affect employees, retirees, customers, communities, and shareholders.
We chose to highlight DTE in our book, which is called The Healing Organization, Awakening the Conscience of Business to Help Save the World. And we were looking for stories of companies that are actually a force for healing in the world. Most people don't know about what's been happening here for the last 10, 15 years. And when I got a chance to interview the leadership with Jerry and others and understood the story and how this company had first focused on healing itself by helping to heal its employees, and then having done that, not rested on its laurels, but then turned its attention outward to its community. And rather than just seeking to be an island of relative prosperity in the midst of a sea of despair, the leadership in this company took a view that we need to be part of the solution. We actually need to take responsibility for our community. They're transforming the lives of people, starting with their employees and then the families of their employees, but then extending to customers, communities, the environment, society.
So our journey has made us a better company, a stronger company. We believe that our efforts are also making our state and our cities and our communities better and stronger and more prosperous. But we also know that so much work remains to be done in the years ahead.
What I think DTE Energy is doing in the community, they are a force for growth. If you're going to be an energy company, let's energize the whole community. Let's light up everything and everybody, because you have a unique opportunity here. And they're setting a standard, I think, that other companies can emulate. And then you too can be a force for growth. When you are a force for growth, you also help to foresee a force for corrective and positive change.